I'll wait while somebody comes to join me before I say anything much. Nobody's here yet. We'll see who comes in. See who says hello the first. Will it be Nathan? Will it be? Who will it be? I don't know. Well, there's one person in the room, but they're not speaking to me yet. Oh, it's Nathan. I said it would be Nathan. I said, will it be Nathan? And it is Nathan. I didn't speak to Trev. We messaged each other, and he said he's going to try and come on today. Nathan, so there you are. Your mate might be coming on. Only a might. He didn't say he would. He just said he'd try. So it'd be nice if he does, won't it? Nice to hear from Trev again. It was a lovely surprise, yeah. I mean, I've sent him Happy Christmases and Happy New Years, and he hasn't responded. So I thought, oh, I don't know, because he was ill the last time I spoke to him. Anyway, he must be feeling a little bit better. So how are you, Nathan? Are you tickety-boo and in the pink? Well, I've got 11 people in the room now, 13 people in the room, and only you saying hello to me, Nathan. I'm feeling quite deprived. Somebody else speak up. Don't leave Nathan here on his own. Well, and me, yeah. Hi, Esther. It's not been too bad today, actually, to be truthful. I actually put the bedding on the line. It didn't really dry, but it just blew a bit of the wet out of it. But then it started to rain, so it ruined it. But it was quite sunny. I actually went shopping with just my sweater on without my coat, yeah. Normally I put my coat on. But no, I just went in my sweater. Very brave of me. Oh dear. So how is everybody? How is everybody? Hi. Hi, Tricia. You've been missing in action. Well, we'll let you off. You're here now. Hi, Linda. As long as you're here now and again, we don't mind if you're missing in action. As long as it's, not for any awful reason that you're missing in action. I mean, we obviously don't want you ill or anything like that. But if you're just missing in action because you've been busy, then that's fine. That's fine. We still welcome you. So, no phone calls tonight. Oh, good. Why have you turned your phone off? Linda comes on, says hello, and then somebody rings her, and we don't hear from her for about an hour and a half then. So she's saying no phone calls tonight. I don't know how she can be so sure. Have you turned your phone off, Linda? I haven't turned my sound down. I don't even know where my phone is, to be quite truthful. Oh, it's there. Mine might tinkle. I've got my Urban Gypsy Crochet mug today. Oh, that's strong, that coffee. I think it was a bit heavy-handed with my spoonful. Hi, Lydia. Oh, you're early today. Make the most of Lydia. She's early today. Oh, dear. Have you not gone shopping yet? We normally get Lydia in when she's done her shopping. It's a stay inside. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It wasn't too bad here today. Well, it wasn't until it started to rain. But earlier on, it was quite sunny. And it was actually a little bit warmer. So, yeah. Maybe, touch wood, spring is on the way. I don't know when it's supposed to start. Anybody know when spring's officially going to start? Oh dear, Super Bowl. Oh my God, yeah. Well, I must apologise in advance if you hear any loud bangs. There's some idiot round here letting off fireworks that must be industrial strength because I was in my bedroom before and the floor shook. I thought, what on earth? I thought something had blown up in the house. Then I realised it's some nutter out there with a, we call them bangers, you probably call them firecrackers or something. But it was boom. It sounded like, when you go, if you ever went to a quarry and they're blasting, it sounded like that. So I hope he doesn't do it any. He did about 3 so far. I'm just hoping he doesn't do any more. But it's a bit scary when they boom. Oh dear. Well, I'm just crotcheting. I'm on my last sleeve. Oh, yeah. Linda's been waiting for a tablet. I don't mean a pill. I mean a tablet. And it's somewhere at the Couriers. DPD, we might as well say it. DPD. The wonderful courier. I mean, touching wood, mind you, I ordered something and it was coming and then it wasn't coming and then it was coming. I just told him I don't want it now and I've got my rebate back for it. So I don't know where it is. It's been coming for a month. I know it's coming from China, but I ordered it on the 3rd of January. I've gone off the whole idea now. I don't want it anymore. It weren't anything vital. It was just something that I fancied buying at the time. And now I don't want it. Well, if it turns up now, it's free. I don't think it will. I think it's just got lost completely. So I got a refund yesterday for it. I mean, it was £14, so I wasn't going to let it go, £14, £14, isn't it, So, ooh, that sweetie was a cherry, and I'm not keen on cherry sweets. They always taste like cough drops. I don't like that cherry cola. I bought a can by accident, opened it up. Oh, shudder. I know some people like them, but not for me. Oh, it's telling me there's a granny go-round cardigan if I want to have a look at it. No, thank you, not just now. Do you get recommendations from Pinterest? I do. I must have signed up for something, I don't know. Mind you, I've managed to stop one. I kept getting notifications from the Sun newspaper. I never signed up for it. Anyway, I managed to get rid of it. It was going ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom every 5 minutes. All with news I didn't want to know. I don't mind news that's nice news, but I don't want, all this news about abroad and that. I've had enough trouble in this country, don't we, without listening to other people's problems. I think if there are problems in another country, tell it to them that live there. So what are y'all doing? I'm crocheting a sleeve. What are y'all doing? Linda's lost her crow, Joe. Have you seen it? Can you give it back to her? I've got a sore thumb. I've done too much crochet and I know what's wrong. Hello. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, it's the the WhatsApp group for where I used to live. Somebody's got a cat called Greg, and apparently it wanders in everybody's house, yeah? Oh dear. Somebody's just lost their cat called Lily. No, he's called Greg, and he's a cheeky thing, and he goes in everybody's houses, apparently, on the street where I used to live. But like my Ollie. My Ollie was the street cat. If anybody left a door open, he was in. And they'd often find him asleep on their bed, yeah. Next door. Well, I thought you meant your next door. Then I realised you mean next door, yeah. I thought, why are you getting emails off next door? Hiya, Ethan. You'll have to excuse me, Mimi. I'm a bit slow today. You're washing your hand knits. That's a chore, isn't it? I know we should wash them one at a time, but you don't. You think, I'll wash that. I'll wash that. You finish up with a pile of them then, don't you? When I think about it, when I was a girl, everything was wool. There wasn't all this acrylic and all this stuff. Oh, you're back on your Crojo, you're working on your Hexa here. But everything was wool, so you had to hand wash all your woolies, yeah? Hi, Sean. Oh, and Deirdre's lost her Crojo. Well, if you're doing your painting, you're doing something, aren't you? And you've got a pile of woolies to wash off. You mean me? Well, not doing it for you. Oh, this is Yarn Smith, which is Wool Warehouse's own brand. I don't know whether they export if you're not in England, but it's play double knitted. $1.99 at the moment for 100 grams, yeah. Oh, your Crow Joe, or your Knit Joe's come back at it. We all have moments, don't we? I went off it for a while, yeah. I think I got a hint from my niece today. She went in the bathroom, and of course I've got hand crocheted washcloths. And she went, oh, I love my hand crocheted washcloths. She said, I'm always sad when I run out of them because, she washes, obviously, puts them in the washer. I think that's a hint. Get some cotton out, Janet. Crochet some more washcloths. I crocheted a lot for her and her sister and myself just before I moved because I'd packed away all my wool and stuff, but I had this, handicraft cotton. It's quite rough, but it's all right for, dishcloths, whatever you call them, yeah. You had some drama behind the scenes. Your hip's improving, oh, mine isn't. I have got an appointment, though. I got an email and it said, tell us which clinic you want to go to. But it did say it might be 25 weeks before you get an appointment. And I thought, oh, jolly dee. But I went on and I thought, I'll pick the clinic I want to go to. So I picked the clinic and then boom, this appointment came straight back, March the 3rd. And I thought, whoa, what happened to 25 weeks? Maybe somebody cancelled an appointment. Maybe I just got lucky. Anyway, I'm going with my hips and my back. So I don't know whether it'll be any use or not or whatever. We can but try, can't we? Go to these departments and see what's going on here. So I think it's a Tuesday, actually, March the 3rd, I think. Yeah, it is. It's a Tuesday. So green and red packaging. Oh, the coffee pods. But I have put my coffee machine in the other room because it was, it's putting too much. It doesn't stop automatically. When you put the pod in and the water, you have to stand next to it and stop it like that because it just goes on and on and on and on and on until all the water's used up. So I've got all the pods up there. Woo, where am I going there? I've got all the pods, but my coffee machine's in the spare room. I've tried to give them away to my friends twice, but they don't want them because I don't think I'll ever use them again. The green ones are not latte, cappuccino, and the red ones are just coffee. Yeah. Labrador. They think mine's bursitis, but they're not sure. My back has been really bad, and I was blaming it on having a fall on the tram. But I was watching something on YouTube, and you know it goes on to something else when you're watching something. And it was this thing about, um, what I've got, that degeneration stuff. Not osteoporosis, and there's another word for it as well. And it said a lot of it is people getting pains in their back, and it's actually that your legs are slightly different lengths, so your hips are on the skew. And I thought, I said, when I had my knee done years and years back, I said to the specialist when I went for my checkup after I'd had the op, and I said, are my legs still the same length? I said, I know it sounds stupid, but I just feel, I'm not talking majorly, I'm talking probably half an inch. I just said, since I've had my knee replacement, I said, I feel like I'm sort of wonky, if you know what I mean. And he said, no, they're still the same length. And I'm thinking, I don't think they are. I feel as though I walk like that when I'm walking, yeah. I mean, I even tried putting like an insert in one of my shoes, to see whether if I could get both my feet, level. But I didn't seem to work. But I would like to know whether my hips are slightly different. Yeah, yeah. It all happened like after I'd had my knee replacement. Yeah, so you had 3 knee ops. Oh, you're greedy, aren't you? Yeah. What? Funny enough, my foot does. I walk straight with one foot and slightly out with the other. Yeah, I've noticed that the other day. Hi, Helen. I do walk with, well, it's not quite 10 to 2, you know what I mean? I'm not that bad. But one foot straight o'clock and the other one's like 2 o'clock, yeah. So maybe it's from my knee operation, yeah. Yeah, well, my son broke his knee. Oh, it was a mess. But because he was only 15, they didn't give him a replacement knee. They just patched him up. And, he walks wonky, yeah. You've had a hip replacement. I've got another lady. If you remember Isaac that used to come on here, his mum is Samantha, and she's had no end of trouble since she's had something done with her hips. She's even had to have shoes with them built up. She's had a lot of trouble with her hips since she had one replaced. Yeah. I mean, I think I need a hip replacement, but I don't know whether I want one. People are saying, "Oh, you can have hip replacements." I mean, one of the one of the ladies at Knit Club, she was 91 or 92 when she broke her hip and had a hip replacement, and she's been fine. Yeah. I just think it's just the thought of it, a big operation. And I'm like, do I really want one? I mean, I turned it down about 10 years back. They said they wanted me to have a hip replacement then, and I thought, no, I'm too young. Too young. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't really want any more surgery. I mean, probably because I have a CPAP machine and I stopped breathing. And the last time I had major surgery, I frightened the anaesthetist to death because they had to keep bringing me out of the deep anaesthetic to bring me up to twilight to get me to breathe. And then every time they put me back under, I stopped breathing again. But they couldn't stop because they were in the middle of the operation. They had to carry on with it. So they kind of don't want me to have general anaesthetic anymore. But I think maybe, do they do hips on spinals now? Yeah. Oh, I know. When I had my knee done, he said, "Do you want to watch?" I went, "No, I don't." He said, "You can watch me if you want." I went, "No, thank you." So you watch your hip being done, did you? Oh, no. It's bad enough when you hear it sounds like Black and Decker on the other side of the blue screen, doesn't it? When they're like drilling and bang. I mean, when they did my knee, they were like boom, 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 and I was going further and further up the bed as they hammered. Then he said, "I'll turn the TV round if you want to watch it." I went, "No, thank you. Turn it back the other way. I don't want to know. It's bad enough listening to you banging and hammering and drilling." I said, "Without me looking at it, what are you doing?" Oh, I actually had my flu jab. I went for my diabetic appointment, and I was a good girl. Everything was fine. Everything. And I said I hadn't had my flu jab, so she went and got me one. And I don't usually bother with an injection, but I went, "You!" And she goes, "I said that blooming hurt." And she goes, "Yeah, I did think the needles were a bit blunter than usual." I thought, "Thank you for that." Yeah. Thank you for giving me a blunt needle. No, normally when they inject you, you feel a little sort of sensation, don't you? But you don't feel it like, yeah. I mean, I'm not a wimp. I mean, she took blood out of my arm and I didn't feel a thing. And then she just stabbed me with the flu jab and I was like, yeah. Oh, gosh. Well, my spine's awkward for that kind of stuff because I've got a rod and pins. So they have to get like an MRI scan on my back to actually put the injection in because they can't hit anything in my spine, the rod thing. I've got crisscross nails or whatever you want to call them, screws. I've got the rod going down my spine and it's got these cross nails, like whatever, either side. So when they do that injection, they've got to make sure they don't hit the metal. So I have to have like an MRI or whatever they call it, ultrasound or something, to make sure that they're putting it in the right place. So that's another reason why I don't want. Yeah, well, mine's all shunting down. It's a great conversation, this, isn't it, Sharon? My spine's shunting down. She measured me, and I said, "How much have I shrunk?" She said, "Well, I don't think you've shrunk since last time I did it." But the last time she measured me, which is a year ago, I had shrunk about a couple of inches. Well, at least I haven't shrunk anymore. I'll be down here somewhere. I'll be looking at you over the top of my chair if I lose any more height. I've never been tall, but now I'm even smaller. Mm. Yeah, my niece took me shopping today. She couldn't come before, um, last time when I was due. So I was really out of everything. So I spent an absolute fortune. But when you think about it, it probably works out because I've probably done a month's shopping, apart from bread and stuff. But if you remember, she broke her ankle, so she couldn't come. Normally she comes about every 4 weeks, every 5 weeks, something like that. But she took the books and the hooks, and I said to her, go in the, I keep calling it the shed. I said, go in the garage and just choose some wool. So I gave her a bag like that. So she filled it with some bright colours to take down to my niece's daughter. Hi, Val. For those of you who didn't hear before, I had a message from Trev And he said he's going to try and come on tonight. Yay! That's what I've got, ankylosing spondylitis. You've just told me, Trish, what it is, yeah. No, I'm fine. He doesn't want to do it again because he would have to take that rod out and put a longer one in, and then I wouldn't be able to bend. So I've decided I'll just leave it at that, yeah. Yeah, that's what I've got, ankylosing spondylitis. Arthritis, osteoarthritis, and ankylosing spondylitis, yeah. It's nice to have letters behind your name, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, doesn't sound good. No, they had a bit of a problem with mine because, of course, with it breaking up, they had to get the screws in. So they've had to do two, instead of putting a screw, one screw, they've had to do a cross screws like that to get them to go in. My spine was, so crumbly that they had to do a cross hatch to get them to stay in it all. I mean, I was so blasé when I had it done, that I think if I'd have known what it was entailing, I don't know whether I would have had it done. Mind you, I needed to have it done because I would be in a wheelchair now if I didn't. So, what a lovely topic we're on, aren't we? Let's talk about something more cheerful, shall we? I used to have injections, but they stopped doing them. I think it was because of the money. They said it was they weren't working, but they were working on me. I think it was cost. You know what the NHS is like. If it costs more than tuppence, you can't have it. Well, I will be on next Saturday, but I might have some news to tell you when I've been to the fair, wool fair at Blackpool. You got recognised. One person recognised me last year at the wool fair. And I feel bad about it because she came up and she said she watches me, but she doesn't comment. So I said, well, that's okay. So I gave her my card and she rang me up one day and I had a house full of people. And I said to her, I hate to be rude. I said, but, so she gave me a number and I said, I'll ring you back. And then what did I do? I lost the number. So, I won't be doing any buying. I'm only going for a look round and I've got to buy that electric, what do you call it, consumer board, haven't I? So I won't be splashing the cash. I won't be doing a video while I'm in there because I'm not like a Mora. I feel a twit walking around with a video. I might take some still photos, but I don't do videos. Well, I can't stitch them together. We were talking about this today, that I need to learn how to edit. I can't edit, yeah. Oh, the bus driver crocheted before you left the station. Oh, was it a lady or a man? The bus driver. Not that men can't crochet, but yeah. Well, thank you. Crafts for others, yeah. It's Yarn Smith's Play Double Knitting. And I think the colour for this was Hike, I think it was. Yeah, this time next week, well, I've been. But I can't do videos because I can't link them together. And I'm sure you don't want about 16 2-minute videos, do you? I'll just take stills. You'll have to look at the still photos. Mm. No, like I say, I got recognised by this lady, and I lost her number. So I bet she thinks I'm so rude. She's probably not one of my subscribers anymore. But she lives in Blackpool or near Blackpool, so maybe I might see her again this year. Or maybe she'll just ignore me and think I'm snobby. I said to her, I'm very sorry, I can't talk to you. ring you later. And she said, oh yeah, she should give me a number. Lost it. Because it was one of those phone calls, I think, where, the number was withheld, yeah. So, oh well. If she still watches me, I did not mean to be rude. I lost your number. Yeah, well, I will recognise Linda and I'll recognise Val, so there might be two people who recognise me. But I don't think anybody else will. These wool fairs tend to be knitting people. And really knitting people who mostly knit don't watch me because I'm not known for my knitting. I mean, I do knit and I can knit, but I'm not known for my knitting. I'm hoping that there'll be some crochet. Well, Cozy Rosie's there. She crochets. And Wool Mouse, she does have some knitting, some crochet. And of course there'll be the amigurumis, but I won't be buying any patterns for them. I mean, sometimes there's crochet shawls and that, but they tend to be kits. And I'm sorry, but I don't have a spare 40 quid to buy a kit, And so I'll see what goes on. I mean, last time I didn't buy anything, I don't think. No. I mean, usually when I go to these places, I usually buy a pattern or a book or something if I don't buy wool, But to be quite honest, I've got about 4 skeins of, hand-dyed yarn that I've never worked up. Because it's such lovely yarn, and I think I'm not making socks with that. Because it goes in your boot. Well, I wear boots a lot. It goes in your boot, nobody sees it. And yet one skein won't really do anything unless you make one of them little skinny scarf things, which I wouldn't wear anyway. Those, what they call Sophie scarves, that look like you've got a bandage round your neck, yeah. I'm not a lover of them really skinny things, yeah. And none of my hand dyeds go together. So I couldn't use 2 of them to make a shawl because none of them are toning colours or anything like that. And I'm not buying another one in pure wool just to use up my skates. They'll probably be here long after I've gone, won't they? Still. It'll be Saturday I'm going. Saturday I'll be going, Ruth, yes. I've got a ticket for both days, but I only bought it for both days in case it was peeing down on the Saturday and I didn't want to go. But I'm getting a lift. My niece is giving me a lift. She's coming to Blackpool for some reason or another next week. And she said she can take me, but she can't pick me up and bring me home. But that's fine. Yeah. Tell you what I noticed, Val. It says car parking free on that, the flyer. But I watched a little video where this bloke was checking in, and it's £10 for the day. And I'm sure it says on that flyer that car parking's free. I mean, it don't worry me because, I'm not going in a car. Well, I am going in a car, but I'm not, nobody's parking. She's just going to drop me off. And but I could have sworn it said the car parking was free on the flyer, yeah? Yeah, there's a makers market in Blackpool on the same day, isn't there? Do you know, there's nothing, is there, for months? And then there's a wool fair down south somewhere. There's a makers market in... you know what I mean? They have to do it all on the same day, don't they? They don't coordinate at all, do they? Which came first, the wool fair or the makers market? I haven't been to that makers market, but I did look at it. Yeah, don't blame me for coming on the tram, Val. I wouldn't pay £10 to park. And you bet your life it'll be full. I was going to ask Lindsay that. Oh, you won't see Lindsay, will you, before then? But I swear it said on the flyer that the car park was free. And yet I watched a little video of this guy who booked in there only to stay, and he was doing like a bit of a review on the place, showing his bedroom and showing what it was and everything. And I'm sure when he asked about parking, she said it was, the woman on the reception said it was £10. So I thought, I mean, it might, because it was that last time at the Imperial, it was £10 there. It's even £10 for people who are staying there, which I think is a bit rough. If it's £10 for a night and you're going there for a fortnight, I mean, not people go to Blackpool for a fortnight, but just say you were. You're thinking, it's not all, is it? Somebody's paying all that money for a fortnight stay and they have to pay £10 a night to park the car. It's a bit off, isn't it, that? I know it's probably to stop people going to the beach and parking on there for free, but I mean, if you went in and like some hotels do, you have to put your registration number in if you're staying there, don't you? You put your registration number in and then they know it's you. I mean, they could do that. Ah, as I was saying before, somebody met me last year. She phoned me up and I had a house full of people and I couldn't talk to her. I said, give me your number and I'll phone you back. And then I lost her number. So I never phoned her back. I bet she thinks I'm dead rude. So I come up and go, I'm Ruth. The thing is, if people come up to me, you know me because you see me on here, but I don't know you. I know you, but I don't know what you look like, unless you're on Facebook and you put loads of pictures up. But I don't know what people look like, so when they come up to me. Amora might be going. We don't know for sure. She might be. The girl who does all the reviews, yeah? Well, Val might be with me at some stage, especially if we're doing the knit and natter bit. With me it'd be crochet and natter. Or as Sheila says, more nattering than crocheting, but if I'm crocheting anything plain, I can actually natter while I'm crocheting. A lot of people can't. They can't crochet or they can't knit while they're talking, yeah. Yes. We will have a good time. We're having a ball. It's gone cold. Did I turn the heating off? I don't think I did. I've suddenly gone chilly. Mind you, I've only got the heating on 15, so it's no wonder I've gone chilly, is it? Chilly Willy. A friend of mine was going to come round and look at what I'd got crocheted up already. But she messaged me the other day and she said, I'm not coming round. Oh, she sounded awful. She was full of a cold. I went, no, don't come round. Don't want a cold before next weekend. Just my luck, wouldn't it, to get it then? Yeah, I'm taking something to eat and drink, yeah. I'm definitely taking a drink because I'm not one for ground coffee anyway. This coffee's making me thirstier. I'd rather take a bottle of something, even if it's only a bottle of water. I've got one of those like flask things, that keep your drink cool. I can put, like Vimto in it and fill it up with water. Put that in me because I'll have my little wheeler thing with me, and it's got a little pocket on the front, so I can put my drink in there. If I don't take a sandwich, I'll take some crisps or something, yeah. Because even if you buy a bag of crisps at the bar, they're twice the price, aren't they, that they are in the shop. I'm not being mean, but I'm saving up. I don't win the, the premium bonds. I know I was watching something or other, and it went on to like a horoscope thing. But I was busy watching, and it went on to this horoscope, and it turned out to be a Sagittarius, which I am. So I thought, oh, I'll listen to it. And it went, Sagittarius is one of the luckiest signs of the zodiac. And I thought, are you sure I'm a Sagittarian then? Because I don't think I'm one of the lucky signs of the zodiac, yeah. I am being frugal. I've got to save up money. You know, my electric board thing wants replacing, and you can't do it all, can you? I mean, some people go and spend hundreds of pounds on wool, which fair dues if they can afford it. I'm not knocking it. I mean, they might save up all year to do it, you know. I'm not knocking it. It's just that I can't do it, you know. But I do enjoy going for the atmosphere, and, you know, maybe it might inspire me something, and I might actually get a pattern or something. I just like meeting like people, you know, people who, like, there's mostly the knitters, but I mean, people who kind of crafty minded. It's nice to meet up with other people. And it's only once a year I go because I can't travel to all the other places. I mean, I loved going to Yarndale and places like that, but it's Harrogate and I can't get over there, yeah. Well, I do hope that they do spend. I mean, a lot of people will, I think. You know, it's just me, but it's purely because of my financial situation at the moment. Yeah, well, I was trying to do a no spend January, but I did order some wool, didn't I, Val? Mm. I was using up some wool out of my garage and I ran out, so I had to order. And then I ordered this colour as well. And then I discovered my emerald green cardigan, which I started crocheting about 12 months ago. I don't have enough for the sleeves and I can't get any more of it. And I thought, what am I going to do? So I looked on Wool Warehouse and I found a green mingled 4-ply. When I say 4-ply, I mean fingering weight in America. And I found this mingled. So I thought, oh, well, I'll do stripes or something on the sleeves because I've done the back and 2 fronts. So I am using up my stash, but I'm spending. But I can justify that, if you know what I mean. And then I had to make the order up to £30 because it would be rude, wouldn't it? Otherwise, I would have had to pay postage, about £4 something for postage. So I thought it'd be rude not to spend more, wouldn't it? So I did. So I've already spent my wool. And in any case, I'm allergic to wool. Now, if they had somebody like Black Sheep there with bargain packs, I might be tempted, but they don't. I don't think there's anybody selling normal wool, unless that Colin sells normal wool, Val, your mate Colin. You know, I don't want hand-dyed stuff because I don't make socks out of it, yeah. Yeah, Black Sheep wool, but I don't think they go to bigger, and then they throw all these packs on the floor, don't they? Got a great big mountain. And you have to buy the full pack, but they reduce it all. I used to like Kemp's. Do you remember Kemp's, Sean? They used to buy the end lines of things that had been discontinued. Oh, and I got some real bargains there. You know, you get beautiful wool and it'd be like 99p a ball or something. They're still there, I believe, but they don't do mail order anymore. The web page is closed down, yeah, which is a shame. because I got some absolutely fantastic bargains. In fact, a sweater I had on the other week, and I said to you, I can't remember what it was. I did remember. It was called Maypole, and I got that from Kemp's. Yeah. I mean, I have to do something because I can't get my wool from ice anymore. It's all this import duties and postage and Lord knows what else, VAT and all this rubbish, isn't it? I was watching a lady, in fact, I put the video on our webpage, and she was in America and she was doing the New York Bull Fair. And I was just watching it out of idle curiosity. And she dyes like, I think it's yak and alpaca thing or whatever. And she was saying since Trump's put these tariffs on, it's pricing her, like out of the market. She can't get it in. And she said it's a bit stupid, really, because America doesn't have yaks, if you know what I mean. It's not like when you import this yak yarn, you're doing anybody in America out of business because they don't have it, yeah. She said it's just ridiculous. The Riverside Spinning have done that in the past. I think it's really woolly selling. If he's got any that's not wool, I might have a look, Val. But I know you bought some last year, but was it wool that you bought or not? You bought some wool off Colin, didn't you? I mean, I feel awful because I don't buy from Lindsay, but I can't wear wool. I mean, one of our friends, Lindsay, she's Coastal Colours. She will be there. And she does have some absolutely gorgeous yarn. Beautiful. And she's knits these fine shawls. They're absolutely lovely. Really like cobwebs. They're beautiful, they are. But I can't wear wool. I mean, people say, oh, but you'd be able to wear merino. You'd be able to wear that. I can't. If it comes off an animal, no. It's just something to do. People are saying to me, oh, merino, or this doesn't have short hair, doesn't have that, so it won't tickle you. It isn't the fact that it tickles me. It's the fact I'm allergic to animal hair, yeah? Hobbycraft. Wool Warehouse, I don't have any trouble with Wool Warehouse. You can choose Royal Mail for your deliveries with Wool Warehouse, and I do. I choose Royal Mail. I've got to say my postmen here are quite good, and my every driver here is quite good. So try Wool Warehouse and try picking Royal Mail if you want to order anything. When I was watching Denise, she has a problem, doesn't she? Because one street is called something else, and her street goes round the corner, and it's got a slightly different name, and her orders keep going to the wrong bit. I think she lives in like a block of, well, it's not a big block of flats. It's like 3 stories high, I think, where she lives. But there's one name on the front. Oh, Alicia. Alicia, are you on here? If so, make yourself known. Somebody's just asked to join the Saturday night crew. And we always have to vet anybody. We always want to know who they are. So I usually say, anybody know this lady before I... We're not being awful, but we don't want trolls, in there. Anybody know Alicia? Please let me know. Are you on here, Alicia? The problem is, if you're on Facebook with your normal name and you come on here with a pseudonym, I don't always tally up the two. Yeah. So if anybody knows that lady, let me know. Yeah. Mini me. Oh yeah. I mean, I watched BL Time Cottage. She lives in Ireland. She's a bit of a strange lady, but she writes books. And the last time she sent books over to America, they got returned because she hadn't paid this tariff thing or other, you know. And she thinks she's managed to sort it out now. But she was having to just sell her books as PDFs, you know, because she couldn't send the actual book over. I mean, I know postage is expensive. Who was I talking to that? I watch a lady, she's in the Netherlands somewhere. She's Bohemian Wonders or something. And she's just got a bill for $2,000 because she thought she was paying everything to send her stuff to America. And they haven't told her, and they've let it build up until she owes £2,000, $2,000 now, whatever it is. And she was saying, well, why didn't anybody tell me? You know, you live in a brick wall. I have to confess, I can't complain about my every drivers or my postal. They are quite good. And they were quite good when I lived in Prestwich as well. I must be lucky. Well, it said I was lucky, didn't it? It said Sagittarians are lucky. Maybe I'm just lucky getting me parcels. I'm not lucky winning the lottery. I'm not lucky winning the premium bonds, but I'm lucky getting me parcels. I mean, Linda's parcels keep going anywhere in Scotland, I think. I think they do a grand tour, don't they? What's it called, that road that goes around Scotland, the 500 or something? I think Linda's parcels go around the 500 before they get to her. Well, you did get mine when I sent it to you, didn't you? So you did get one thing. But she's never in, you see. I blame it on that. She's never in. When the postman comes, Linda's never in. I tell you, my parcel box has been worth every penny. It cost me £100, this postal, not a postal box, you know. No, I got a PO box. I haven't got one of them. I've got a parcel box outside my house. It cost me £100. I thought, oh, God, but brilliant. When I'm not in, they go straight in the parcel box. My Jeanette was saying her daughter had said, why don't you get a PO box? You know, so if anybody wants to send you something. I inquired into that. It's £50 a month to get a PO box. Oh, Zings, Knit Pro Zings, yeah. I don't knit that much. I've got some. I mean, you know, our lovely Ephraim, he sent me a set. Absolutely. He's a little star, honestly, he is. He sent me a full set because he knows I like the long needles. And these were 40 as opposed to 35 centimetres. These were 40. So I've got a full set of them. See, if you lived close, you could borrow them. I think they sell them at Workwear, if I remember rightly. I can't use the Zing Pro crochet hooks. I can't use them because they've got a bit of a blob on the end. Yeah. I gave my niece's daughter a load of crochet hooks that I can't use. Because, I mean, she's only, about 12 or something like that. It's expensive to buy crochet hooks, yeah. I can only order them with either a wooden or I can't do with them with bubbles on, you know, like Amora crochets with like beads on them. Can't do with them. Yeah, my son did that North Coast 500 on his motorbike. Well, him and his missus, yeah. Yeah, I know it said I was lucky, but I am lucky with my delivery people, I must admit. I can't complain about them. I mean, I know in Fleetwood, where I used to live, they're moaning all the time about their everyman, but I cannot say anything about mine. He's brilliant. Every time he comes, if I'm in, he goes, "Hi, I'm Adam. I'm your everyman." Yes, hello, Adam. You come here every day. I do know you're called Adam, yeah. I used to have a lady driver for every, and she was superb. If I had anything delivered that was a bit heavy, she used to say, "I'll put it, where do you want it? In your front room? Do you want it in the kitchen? Where do you want it?" She'd bring it in. She was lovely. Yeah, well, Coastal Colours it hasn't got them. But somebody else might have the knit pros when you get there, Linda. But what's it sells them, doesn't she? Naked Sheep sells them anyway, I think. I think she sells the knit pros. I'm not 100% sure, but I think she does. I find they're too pointed. They stab my fingers. I must push. When I'm knitting, I must push it down, and I don't realise I do, but I finish up with a hole in my finger when I knit with them knit pro things. No, I can't use. I use these, but I can't use. Before I got these, I used to buy, those like foam rubber long rollers with a wire in the middle. You put your hair in and you bend them. I used to buy them and take the wire out the middle and push them on mid crochet route. So, but I can't knit with them bubbles on, Ruth. Can't crochet, sorry, with them bubbles on. They hurt my hands. I'm always giving them away. I mean, I've got a load of Simply Crochet magazines that I'm thinking of putting on eBay dead cheap. But the thing is, I haven't got any of the free gifts that will go with them because I tend to give them away. People at Knit Club, do you want a crochet route? Do you want this? Do you want that? So they'd have to be sold without the free gift, if you know what I mean. Bobbies, they put like beads on the crochet, not with this kind of handle. Well, it's a crochet hook that's just like that. They put beads up them, and so that you get hold of a bigger thing. And they're too bobbly for me. Yeah, yeah. I've still got some aero that I had from when I had the shop. Some of my aero crochet hooks. They have dwindled though. I suspect I keep losing them. So a finger joint. I wish I knew. I wish. I used to usually. Oh, I haven't got them here. Yeah, I do. Where have they gone? Thought they were in here. Oh, I could have sworn. Oh, yeah, they are. These help. You buy a bag full off eBay or Amazon. They do help, but they won't cure it. They're like a little stretchy sleeve, like that. They do help. In fact, I should be wearing them now. Because this, they're dead cheap. Honestly, they're really cheap. Because this hand, I've got that, is it called Dupree's contraction or something? I always watch stupid things, don't you? I watched a program about arthritis and it said you're supposed to be able to put your hands together flat, and I can't. Mine are like that. If they're like that, you've got arthritic fingers. Yeah, if you could put them, I only could only put them together if I push them together and they're sore. But you should be when you put your hands like that, they should be flat together, which mine aren't. As I say, they don't cure it. They do not cure it. But they keep it warm, which helps a lot. Yeah, yeah. Maura likes her beaded crochet hook. She buys bead things, doesn't she, from that tea place and sticks them on, but I don't like them. Yeah, they hurt my hand. I tried picking one up, at one of these craft fairs, just to pick it up to feel it. I thought, no. I've always said that shops should have one of each kind of different crochet hooks, not in packets, one of their own, that you could use. A bit of spare wool, borrow a crochet hook, yeah? Because everybody has a different way to crochet and everybody has a different one that they like. And I mean, I've bought crochet hooks by the bucketful and given them all away because I can't use them. And it would have been so nice if I could have gone to a wool shop and tried a few, and then found out which one I like working with. I mean, these I like working with, but it's more trial and error. I mean, Kelly used to like the ones I didn't like, so she used to finish up with half of my hooks I used to buy. I used to say I don't like them. Sure, I do. Yeah. I mean, I bought a set. I think it was Clover Amour or something. I didn't like them, so she finished up with them. Yeah. I gave away more crochet hooks than I kept. But I know I can't work with them beaded ones. I got a free one once, I think, with Simply Crochet. Or I used to get, there was another magazine. It was much, much better than Simply Crochet, but I think it was called Crochet Today, but they went out of business. And it was much better magazine. It went out of business, and then I found I could get it online. But unfortunately, when my computer crashed, guess what was on my computer? These Crochet Todays. So I lost them all. Of course, because they don't do it anymore, you can't even get them if you join that Ready, whatever it's called. Where you pay to join a site and you could read, you can get all these magazines, you can read them all for free. Well, not for free, because you've got to pay the subscription. Readly, I think it's called, yeah. Yeah, everybody's got ones that they can use, I mean, lots of people can't use the inline crochet hooks. And I can't use the others. Yeah, Readly. I think Linda's joined that. I like my patterns in the flesh, if you know what I mean. When I buy them online, I print them out. I don't like having to read them on the screen. Because my phone, they'd be dead tiny. I'd be squinting, be able to read it, yeah. No, I couldn't use the Clover either. I mean, you say, I'm not saying anything against them. I mean, Kelly used to use them all the time. They were her go-to hook. People like the boy, and I don't like the boy because they've got like a blobby end on them, big fat. This is more pointed, when you're going through anything. But the boy's got like a blob, yeah. I don't like, what did you call it? Those really, really expensive ones. The handles are very heavy. I don't know what they're called. Nathan bought one and I got one. Furls, that's the one. They're so heavy, the handles. They weigh a ton. And that goth woman, she buys every time they bring a new furls out, she buys the whole set, doesn't she? She must have more money than sense. I can understand somebody buying the whole set of something that they like, but not to buy every time they bring out a new colour or anything. She buys the whole set. Yeah. That's what I like about these. Even the big sizes are metal. Yeah. Make sure you cancel it, Linda. Otherwise, they'll start charging you. Make sure you wrote down the date you started it, and yeah. No, these what do you call it? Oh God, I forgot what they're called now. I'm hopeless, aren't I? Susan Bates, aren't they? Yeah. They do metal hooks right up to about 15mm. Yeah, I don't like free trials because I always forget to cancel them and then they charge you. And you find you've locked yourself in a 12-month contract. And I'll tell you what I don't like, when you take a 12-month subscription out on something, and instead of paying for it each month, they take the full amount, don't they, at the beginning? They take 12 months off you at the beginning. And I'm like, no, I want to pay each month. You know, I can't afford £100 just to pay the 12 month up front. I think it's, I mean, I did that with one, and then they went bump. I think it was, it was a knitting magazine. Everybody used to buy it. And they just disappeared. And they took 12-month subscription off me, and then they disappeared. So I don't like that. I don't like paying up front. I really don't. I'd rather pay each month for. I used to like those plastic, what they call crystallite hooks that they used to sell at Purple Linda. I used to like her hooks, her plasticky hooks. I think they were called crystalline. The trouble with them was I used to wear, and I used to be like Uri Geller. They used to bend, and then they used to break in half. You just cancel your subscription. Yeah, you've got to be careful with those free subscriptions. If you don't keep your eye on the date, you finish up paying 12 months, and they just take it out your bank account. And then you struggle like anything to get it back off them. I still haven't got a rebate from that bloke on Etsy. Well, I think it's a bloke. When that pattern was wrong. And when I looked in the bits underneath the pattern, everybody says the same thing. I got the wrong instructions, and he doesn't answer me, or she doesn't answer me, or whatever. Yeah, my crochet magazines, I presume, I don't remember ever paying for them, and they still keep coming. And I've looked on my bank statement and I can't remember ever paying for them. But it still keeps coming every month. And I'm like, somebody bought it for me and forgot to cancel it, Did somebody buy me one for a Christmas present or something? Bought me a year's subscription for a birthday present or a Christmas present, and they've forgotten to cancel it, and it's still going out of their bank account, because I swear it's not coming out of mine. Now I'm going to sell some of them. If I put them on eBay cheap enough and just say there's no free gift. I mean, the magazine's intact. It's just that they don't have the little toy thing that comes with them and that, because I've given them all away. And the crochet hooks and everything. I just haven't kept them. But the patterns are all there, if I put them up for a couple of quid or something. I mean, they're £9 to buy, so I don't think £2 bad for the magazine, even if it hasn't got plus the postage, obviously, as well. But I think they go as a large letter, wouldn't they? I think. I'd have to find out for sure. Because they're like an A4, aren't they, I think? Yeah. So I think that's what they would go for. I'd have to find out how much a post is that. Sell them for a couple of quid plus the postage, yeah. They're just in my way and I'm not giving them away. Because most of my knit clubs don't crochet anyway. They mostly knit. I did take a couple of crochet hardback books down to their library thing there, but they didn't go. I think they finished up at charity shop, yeah. I'm always a joy. Well, my dad used to say I was a trial. I don't know about a joy. Oh dear. Yeah. You're not Alicia, are you? Because somebody called Alicia wants to join. I don't know who she is. She might come on here and she might have a different handle. Otherwise, how would she know? Yeah. How would she know the Facebook page was there? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, when I used to say to my dad, I'm trying, Dad, I'm trying to do it. And he said, yeah, you're very trying. In other words, I was a nuisance. And my grandma I used to say, I can't do it, Grandma. And she said, can't means don't try. You won't try. I said, but I can't do it, Grandma. She got, go and do it. Try your best. And then if you really can't do it, come back and tell me that you can't do it. But don't come and tell me you can't do it when you're not trying, yeah? Oh, she was quite strict with me. Oh, they go through that when they get to that age. Believe me, I nearly strangled mine when he was a teenager. We butted heads quite a lot. I don't know what there is. I don't know whether girls are any better, but boys, oh, they go through. I don't know what it is. They go through a period where mother's always stupid and she doesn't know anything. And every time you say anything, it's like, boom, boom. And you say, do you want this? And I'm saying, is that yeah, no. Oh, are you trying to be funny? God. How I didn't put my hands around his throat when he was about 16 or 17, I don't know. They do grow out of it, I will say that. I think, what did somebody say? You should put them in a cage when they're about 2 and don't let them out till they're about 20. There's some little so-and-sos, I believe, like in, luckily they're not down here, in Fleetwood. And they're driving everybody mad. You know, they're being real brats, terrorising people and doing all sorts of stuff, yeah. Well, I don't shut up either, Sian, so, you know, it's not about cars, it's usually about wool, crocheting or something or other. I don't shut up. Right. Oh, they're sympathising over the guy who's lost his cat, yeah. Oh, no, it's a little dog. Oh, it's a little chihuahua called Lily. Oh, bless. It's hard when you lose a dog or a cat. It's the crafting down now. I've got a new follower. All right. Yeah, Alicia Nelson. Who is she? Anybody know her? Anybody know her? She lives in Ohio. 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 She hasn't answered me questions. I'm sure there should be questions. She hasn't answered me questions, no. When I asked why do they want to join, yeah. I don't know, I'll have to think about that one. Jen, yeah, you mean the big girl, Jen, that we used to talk to, yeah. She has put on some weight. I didn't talk to her, yeah. But I looked at her, she was on a picture with her son or something. I'm like, oh, she has piled it on. I mean, she was always a big girl, but my God, she's a big girl now. Yeah, I haven't spoke to her for a long time. We kind of fell out. I wanted to stay fell out, if you know what I mean. No, she I won't go into it on here, but no, she won't be watching. She went a bit weird, let's just say. And I don't know what it was. I think she had mental issues. I mean, everybody can go through it, but it was always me that got it, if you know what I mean. And I just had enough. Oh, you can be sympathetic for a while, can't you? But after a while, you just get fed up. You just have to, for the sake of your own sanity, you've got to say, whoa, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't know whether she ever got any help or not. But, as I say, yeah, I had to make a break from her because she was driving me up the pole. 6, 8, 10, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46. Oh, I've got enough. Yeah, there are some people you have to walk away from, don't you? You know, because you just can't deal with it. For the sake of your own sanity, you've got to walk away, haven't you? Oh, it reignited again. Oh dear. Yeah, there's a big fire in Blackpool. Did you see it, Val? There's too many fires in Blackpool. I think somebody's going around with a lighter. I think we've got an arsonist on the loose up there. Too much of a coincidence, quinky dinky. Yeah, it was a shop, wasn't it, and an amusement place as well, I think. It's not in the centre of Blackpool. I think it's up a side street somewhere. Did you see that charity shop link I sent you, Val? I bet they've got some cheap jeans in there for your bags. Yeah. Some people you've just got to walk away from, Sean. It looks really, really, really cheap. And I don't mean really, really cheap for you to wear. I mean really, really cheap for you to get jeans or something, you know, when you're making your bags. I mean, they had like a load of t-shirts and stuff like that. Your crochet hook's made a run for the hills. Where was it gone? Have you thrown it somewhere? Have you gone? I used to do that a lot with my knitting needle. Have you ever been knitting and then your knitting needle does like a harpoon, goes shooting across the room, and you think, where the hell's it gone? Shoot, gone. Right, I need a can. If I can get myself up off this chair. Oh dear, my goodness me. Roll on my appointment till they can do something for me. Oh, I can't walk. What have I got in the fridge? Oh, I've got some grapes. The fridge is full. It was like Mother Hubbard's cupboard this morning. There was nothing in it. I thought I'll have an egg. Then I thought, no, what? I've got no bread. Oh dear. Oh yeah. Sheila found her crochet hook in her slipper. She looked everywhere for it. Well, it was like that. We just mentioned, Charlotte. It was like ringing me on the computer, ringing me all the time. Oh, come, I need you, I've got something to tell you. I want to, and then when it was just like a string of paranoia. People were watching her and people were doing this, that, and the other to her. And, you know, it was like in her head. It obviously wasn't really happening. It was, you know, in her head. But she would be ringing me all the time, you know, through that, whatever it was. What do we, it was like Google thingy-majig, wasn't it, we used to go on. Yeah, my phone it'd be ringing on the computer, ringing. And I'm going, I'm busy. Oh no, I need you. I want to tell you something that's dead important. And then I'd go on and then it'd be a load of look under your rocking chair. It might be there jamming up your works again. Linda's recliner stopped working. When she got a man to it, there was about 300 balls of wool underneath it, wrapped round the mechanism. Luckily, my recliner looking good. I'm still eating that chocolate I got from my birthday. It just says day. I've eaten the birth bit. I'm very good with my chocolate lately. If it'd been Thornton's, it would have been at by now. God, it'd be Easter egg soon, won't it? Yeah, it's very draining. She was draining the life out of me, Sean. I mean, I don't know whether you ever got that bit of her, but she was draining the life out of me. I couldn't stick it anymore. I just had to blank her. I think I got called a few names, but my shoulders are broad enough. What they say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I just ignore it. I don't get into arguments with people. I just ignore them. They hate that the most. If anybody wants to bully you or anything, just ignore them. You've made chocolate cornflake cracknel. We used to make them like Rice Krispie things or cornflake things. Our Ian used to make them when he was young. You melt the chocolate, don't you, and stir it into your cornflakes. I used to like the ones that had, was it raisins in them as well? When you buy them in the shop. And they hurt the roof of your mouth when you bite into them. Because they're solid. I bought one not long ago and it just disintegrated. As I was trying to bite into it, it's like it went everywhere. There was crunchy bits flying everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, if anybody's doing your head in, the best thing is just walk away. I'd rather have no friends than the wrong ones, if you know what I mean. Or it's maybe cocoa. No, I used to make mine with chocolate. Back in the day when chocolate was chocolate and it didn't cost as much. Yeah, I'd rather live on my own than or not have any friends than friends that drag you down. They're very wearing. You try to be nice to them, you try to appease them, don't you? And then they drag you down. I think they latch onto you because they might think you're sympathetic or something. But no, can't be coping. I think the older I've got, the less patience I've got for bull shine a light. Do you know what I mean? When people say something to you and you're like, yeah, right, okay, yeah, that really did happen. Yeah, right, okay. Cynical, I think, is the word for me now. I've always been a bit sarcastic. I remember my brother saying to me one time, he says, Janet, he said, sarcasm is the lowest form of wit. I thought, well, I thought it was funny. Oh, gosh. I don't have any kiddies, so I don't have any problems with that anymore. My little kiddie was 57 the other day and he's in Spain. Oh, I know. Cadbury's is rubbish now, isn't it? It's not nice at all. Chocolate doesn't taste like chocolate. It's all because cocoa and that has all gone so expensive that they're all using, I don't know what they're using, but yeah, corn oil is horrible, isn't it? American chocolate's made out of corn oil, isn't it? What did we used to make ours out of? Was it butter or was it something else? Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, kick them to the curb. Why worry? I don't like dark chocolate. It's bitter to me. The only time I like dark chocolate is those after 8 mints, and they got mint in the middle. But dark chocolate's not for me at all. I know it's supposed to be good for people with diabetes. I'd rather have milk chocolate and just have two pieces like I just did then. I can't be dealing with the dark chocolate. I mean, people who used to go to Black Magic and that. Do you remember Black Magic? They're probably not allowed to call them that anymore now, are they? Will it be coloured chocolate? Coloured magic? No, I like milk tray. No, I only used to like the chocolate orange ones. Chocolate orange. We see them now, they're minute. They're like a chocolate golf ball there, aren't they? They used to be quite big. They used to be the size of a big tennis ball, didn't they? Now they look like golf balls. Everything's shrunk, haven't they? You know, Kit Kats, everything like that. Mars bars. They look like they're mini Mars bars now, don't they? They're the ordinary Mars bars. And I love bags of crisps when you open them and there's only half a bag. You're paying for the air, aren't you? Chips, if you're in America, talking about a bag of chips. We have tiny little bags, probably like your free sample bags. Yeah, we don't have big well, we do, but we don't eat big bucketfuls. But when you open the packet, it's air. Half of it is air and half of it is crisps. My hand's not too bad. I put my udder cream on. Hello, Cindy Lou. Or Cindy Lulu. You got an extra Lou now. You're a Cindy Lulu. Mm. Oh, the boiler's just kicked in. Told you it was cold, wasn't it? But it's kicked in now. I keep listening to those Miss Marple things on YouTube, but oh, they have AI voices and they just carry on reading past the full stops. You know, they don't pause in the right places. Oh, yeah. Well, we're here every week, you know. Mind you, if you're in America, it's a funny time of day for you, isn't it? You're probably out shopping or something, yeah. Everything's a quarter of the size it used to be. I just bought a bag of these. There was hardly any in them. Maynard's Classic Fruit Mix. I don't know how many grams there were supposed to be in them, but there was hardly anything in them. 170 grams. There was about 20 fruit gums in there. Well, I think they were about 175 or something for a little bag. Ooh. All right. Don't go mad, boiler. Yeah, you couldn't eat a wagon wheel, could you? It was too big. It was like a saucer, wasn't it? And if you say anything, wagon wheels, they say they haven't altered it, yeah. Oh, thank you. It's Yarn Smith's Play Double Knitting, and I think it was called Hike Colour. But I don't know whether you can get it in America. I think it's like Wool Warehouse. Whether they export, I don't know. It's all this postage stuff in it. Postage stuff and VATs and all import duties and God knows what you've got to buy. I mean, most people are putting on now, if it's going to America, we are not responsible for, you know, any other expenses that may occur. Because you can't, you know, if you're selling something for a price and you're paying the postage to send it, and then it gets charged so much at the other end, you know, you couldn't pay it for people. You couldn't. It wouldn't be worth sending it, if you know what I mean. I've just given up because I'm not. It sounds like I'm being sort of, I don't know, not sending to America, but I couldn't. I tried opening my Etsy shop again 12 months ago or something like that. Oh no. Etsy with this, that, and the other. You got to give them free postage, and you can't. And you've got to be responsible for this, that, and the other. I thought, no, I'm not bothering. they were finishing up with more money than I was, so I thought, no, I'll give it up. It sounds like you're being awful saying, oh, I can't send it to America, but it's just financial. I feel sorry for people whose main business used to be, with America. I mean, I'm talking about companies, not just me. Companies that's, normally exported to America on a regular basis. But it's just, as I say, I was watching that wool fair in America, in New York it was. And this woman was saying she did dye wool, and she was saying she can get it, but she has to pay so much for it that it's out of everybody's price range now because of his tariffs that he's put on everything. And like she was saying, they don't breed yaks in America, so she couldn't be buying American stuff anyway. If it doesn't grow in America or it doesn't breed in America, you can't say, well, I'll buy it from America, because if it's not there, I don't understand his reckoning. I mean, like all the electrical goods, they're all made in, what is it, China or Japan or something? How's he going to get around that? Does he give them special concessions? Otherwise, nobody will have any freezers or washing machines or televisions, will they? Oh, God. Chocolate on plum biscuits used to be about half an inch thick. Now they've painted it on. Hi, Munchkin! Miney, I was laughing the other day. I put my butter in the microwave for a few seconds to melt it so I could put it on my bread. And it went a little bit too far, so it looked like oil. And it just reminded me when I was a kiddie, talking just after the war and everything was still on a ration. My mum used to belong to this mothers' union thing in, the church. And they used to have like whist drives and coffee afternoons and tea in afternoons and that. And I went in and they were making sandwiches and they had a pastry brush, and the butter was like oil. They'd melted the butter. And this woman was literally brushing the sandwiches with this oily bread. You know, I thought that was to make the butter go further, wasn't it? Yeah. And I thought, blimey, what brought that on? This memory, I could see her as plain as day, this woman, buttering this bread with a pastry brush and this oil stuff that she'd melted this butter. And I mean, back after the war and that, it was all like meat paste. It weren't like meat paste. You used to buy it in a chunk. They used to cut it out of a potted beef, I think it was called. Surprising how many memories you've got, like after the war, where you couldn't get stuff. I mean, I know I was born just as the war was ended, but I can remember rationing because it went on till 1952 or 3, I think. And you couldn't get stuff, like cooked meats and stuff like that. You couldn't get it. And a tin of salmon, my mother used to grate breadcrumbs really, really fine. And she used to put this tin of salmon in a bowl, and she used to put all these breadcrumbs in and then some melted butter. And she used to stir it all together to make the tin of salmon go further, when she puts it on your sandwich. And for years, I wouldn't eat salmon as it came out the tin because it was too strong. I was used to it being diluted with breadcrumbs and butter. And I still like it that way. But that's what you had to do because you had to spread things around. You couldn't do a full tin of salmon. But you always had to have a tin of salmon in the pantry, no matter how poor you were, just in case anybody came. So they'd think you were richer than what you were if you gave them a salmon sandwich. Yeah. I remember somebody coming to the house, and my mother had done that with this tin of salmon to spread it out a bit. And this woman said, "Oh, what brand is this salmon?" She said, "It's the best salmon I've ever tasted." Little did she know. Well, Trevor's not come on. He said he might pop on today, but he hasn't come, has he? Yeah, he sent me a message saying he might try and pop on. But we're still waiting. Trev, if you're listening, where are you? He said he was going to ring me one day, so I'm waiting for that. I'll let you know if he does. I know he wasn't well over Christmas. I think he's recovering now, but he didn't really answer me when I asked him how he was, because he was poorly, wasn't he? He got something or other wrong. Was it celiac or was it Crohn's or something? I know he got diagnosed with something and I can't remember what it was now. But he was really poorly over Christmas. He said he'd phone me, but I don't know when. He didn't say when. He just said he'd catch up with me. Yeah. I think it's Crohn's. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. It might not be. Because I know he was really poorly. I know my friend's son. Oh, he was. It took him ages to diagnose it was that. He used to have these terrible pains, and she didn't know what to do. Could he be curled up on the sofa? And they couldn't seem to find out what was wrong with him at the doctors or anything. Eventually, he got diagnosed with Crohn's. He was losing weight for fun, and he'd no energy. And he was a kid that used to play football for the school team and that. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't do that, and he'd just be curled up on the sofa in pain. And she got backwards and forwards to the doctor saying, "It's not right. It's not right. This." And eventually, he was diagnosed with Crohn's. Yeah. So I watch Through Lucy's Lens. She's a social historian and she goes looking at houses and the way people used to live, socially, two up, two down houses and stuff. And she's put on, it wasn't a video or something because she's got Crohn's. And every now and again when it kicks up, it really flares up. She's really poorly with it. Yeah, that's probably, like I say, I haven't actually spoken to Trev. We just passed messages backwards and forwards the other day. I like butter. I won't eat margarine. I don't like buying sandwiches out in cafes and that because they always use margarine and it's bleh. Except one place where they don't use butter at all. They don't use anything. Yeah, celiac is gluten free. Yeah, we've got one at the knit club. She's celiac. Yeah, but like she's in her 70s and she was saying like you live all your life. It's like me with IBS, being diabetic. You think you'd know about it much earlier than you do. I didn't know I was diabetic till I was about 60, 70, something like that. And the IBS, I didn't know what the heck it was. It just, I thought I'd got ulcers and all sorts of things. And they couldn't find anything. They didn't know what was wrong with me. I was like living on Gaviscon and stuff. And then I found out it was IBS. But I'd never, all my life. And now I can't eat dairy. I can eat butter, but I can't have cow's milk anymore. It just sets me off. But you're thinking to yourself, how can you live, three quarters of your life, whatever it is? I used to love milk. I used to drink cow's milk all the time. Never had any effect on me. Then all of a sudden it started having an effect. And you think, why? Yeah, and my friend, that comes to knit club, you know, don't you, Val? Elaine, she's celiac, but she never was. For 60 years of her life, she was never celiac. Now she has to eat gluten-free. Oh, I bought gluten-free mince pies by accident. Ugh, they were horrible. The pastry was, oh, I feel sorry for anybody who has to eat gluten-free. It's not the nicest thing in the world. But like everything, it's twice the price. She has to buy anything that's gluten-free. She gets these crumpets or something, and you can get crumpets really cheap. But when she has to have the gluten-free ones, which she does, they're about 3 times the price. Yeah. Packet sandwiches, they use cheap margarine. I don't like it. Marks and Spencer's are not too bad, except a lot of these places will use malted bread. And I don't like that malted bread. You can't taste the filling on your sandwich because all you can taste is this malted bread. I don't mind wholemeal bread, but the only thing they did on white bread at Tesco's and Marks and Spencer's is cheese or cheese and onion or something. That's the only thing they put on white bread. Everything else is on this malted bread. Can you imagine BLT on malted bread? Yeek. No, I make my own butties. If I take anything, I'll take a sandwich with me. I've got some cooked meat if it's still in date for next week. I looked for the longest dated I could find, but I can't remember what it said. I think one of them says the 14th on it. I got some turkey breast and I got some ham. Mind you, they're all full of additives, aren't they? The cooked meat that you buy for sandwiches. They're pumped full of all sorts, aren't they? When we used to go to the delicatessen and you used to get the ham cut on the bone. It used to be proper cooked ham, didn't it? And not all this junk, preformed, prefabricated, whatever it is. Ugh. I mean, that Bernard Matthews things, you remember they used to be all preformed and whatever, made up like slurry and then squashed into something. I mean, I won't touch a beef burger. I won't go anywhere near a beef burger. They never used to be that bad. I can remember I used to go to Wimpy when we was teenagers, and no such thing as Wimpy. They were much nicer than McDonald's, much nicer. But there used to be meat in them days, proper meat, yeah. Yes, I'm in the UK, Frankie. Can't you tell from my northern accent? I'm a Mancunian. Well, I'm not really, actually. I'm an Oldham bird. At Oldham, that's where I was born, in Royton in Oldham. But I lived for 52 years in Manchester, so I suppose I've got a Mancunian accent now, yeah. You're in Arizona. Woo! I bet it's warmer there than it is here. Maybe some places in America have had snow and more snow, haven't they? I watch things on Facebook, they put in about 6 inches of snow and they're saying, this is my view from my back porch. And I'm like, woo! You think of places like Canada, you've got desert. I used to watch a lovely lady, she doesn't do them anymore, but she used to live in Canada. and she'd be like showing going to work and, like through snowdrifts with a car. And she moved down to, somewhere really hot in America, she moved. And then she said, I've got to go back. She said, I can't stand it. She had a beautiful swimming pool and everything where she'd moved to. But it was too hot for her because she was, used to the snow. And she was in the cold part. And that Seta, she moved up to, not Iceland, but it was somewhere cold, didn't it? She moved right from the South America, right all the way up to, not Greenland, but it was somewhere cold up there, yeah. Yeah, she's called Seta. She's called Concetta, isn't she? But Seta's Place, is it Seta's something? She does eat YouTubes, yeah. Oh gosh, we have rain, and more flipping rain here. I used to be a delicatessen in Royton. He was a Polish lad. And everything was cooked. The cheese was cut for you. There was no prefabricated whatever. And all his cooked meats used to cut it for you. A salami would be on a great big roll thing and cut it for you. Really as fresh as you can get it, not full of all this stuff they pump it full. I mean, now if you buy cooked ham, you don't know what's in it, do you? I wonder what you eat. I'm trying my hardest not to eat processed food, but it's so difficult. I'm making you hungry. I'm sorry, Sha. Well, when you live in England, you don't get summers like that, Frankie. You don't. It's we think the 70s a heat wave over here. It sometimes climbs as far as 80. Very, very rarely it gets to 90. But I live near the sea, so it's always cold. When I lived in Manchester, it was much, much warmer. Much warmer. There's always the wind off the sea here. Well, when you live near the sea, Sean, all you get is wet. You can't even dry your washing half the time because the wet in the sea air. It's always raining here. It's never blooming stopped raining. I think summer, we had a little bit of summer. I think that stopped about September. And ever since then, it's rained. You look out and you think, it's not raining today. Then by 5 o'clock, it's throwing it down. You do get sometimes a dry day. But windy? Yeah, it's been non-stop rain for weeks here. If it doesn't rain all day, it rains most of the part of the day. By 4 o'clock, it's throwing it down. I mean, it was gorgeous when I woke up this morning. I washed my bed in and I actually put it on the line. And we went to Morrison's, and then my niece says, I've got to go and get your washing off the line. She says, it's pouring down. It hadn't dried. It took a bit of wet out of it, but it hadn't dried it. But it blew a bit of wet out because I don't have a dryer. I've no space for a dryer in the kitchen, and I decided not to bother. Because there's nothing that I want, like the day after or whatever. Everything, it dries eventually, doesn't it, you wash it? And the tumble dryer ruins your woolies anyway. It fluffs them up, shortens the life out of them. My woolies have lasted much longer now. I don't have a dryer. I didn't used to use my dryer anyway when it was nice weather. But mind you, when it was nice weather. But I've got to admit that since I moved to Fleetwood and then now to Cleveland's, I've never worn any of my short-sleeved crochet tops. unless I've got a cardigan over the top. I used to wear them all the time when I lived in Prestwich. You know, short sleeve crochet tops. I'm not wearing them here. I've got them here that's never seen the light of day for 4 years. I'm ever the optimist. I keep keeping them thinking, mate, we're going to have a nice summer, you know. I'm so optimistic, aren't I? My friend and his wife from Spain are coming over in May. I said, I can't put you up. I've got no, you know, no spare room. She said, oh, it's all right. We'll just come over for the day. I just don't have I've got a spare tiny bedroom, but it's a craft room. I haven't got room to put anybody up. I haven't seen him for ages. His wife's nice, Linda, she's called. She's another Linda. Yeah, I get on well with Linda. Don't see her much, obviously, because they live in Spain. They've lived out in Spain for ages. Years now, about 10 years, 15 years they've lived in Spain. Maybe longer than that. He used to be my neighbour when he was a kid. But he's in his 60s now. He's not exactly a kid anymore, really. He was the one who lived in Skiathos for a while when I went over to see him in Skiathos. Lovely place, that. I'd love to go back, but I know I can't because it's too hilly and full of steps and it's cobbles and, oh. 2, 4, 6. Beautiful place, absolutely beautiful place. I love Greece. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21. Oh, you're wishful thinking. You need 28. Got another 7 rows to go yet. Wishful thinking. Hi, Nancy. It's not been too bad today. It's not been freezing today. I won't say it's actually 8 degrees. It's usually about 5, so it is getting a bit warmer. And of course it's raining. It wasn't all day, but it's raining now. It wouldn't be England if it wasn't raining. Well, you're in New England, so that's why you get the rain, yeah. No, it's been nice here. This morning it was sunny. I actually pegged out bedding because it was sunny. And also because I got no room on my dryer because I've got my clothes on there, on my airer. I mean, my conservatory, I must admit, it does get quite warm in there because it's a tiny conservatory. It's almost like a step-in, you know. So it's got a radiator in there. So if I shut both doors, you know, the door to the outside and the door to the kitchen, it actually gets quite warm in there, you know, for drying and washing. And then, of course, if the sun shines, it's like a little sun trap in there. So it does dry me washing eventually. As I say, I've got plenty of underwear. It's not the posh, you know, Victoria's Secret, but I've got plenty of underwear. So, you know, it's not like I'm desperate for a pair of underwear. I've got loads of them. So it all dries eventually. You got 10 inches of snow? Oh, I don't think we've ever had 10 inches of snow in the UK. I think there was the big freeze, was it 1953 or something? I watched these videos. I think it was 1953 or something. But there was another one in 1960 something, and I really cannot remember it. And I would be a teenager then. And I can't remember all this snow. You know, I thought I was just slipping through it. But I must have been making my way to work and that through all of that. Yeah, I can't remember it. It's funny, isn't it? You think I'd remember things like that? Loads and loads of snow. God, my hair's gone frizzly. My niece did my roots for me today. I said, I've got to look posh for my wool fair. Can't go there with black roots. Oh, and I've got purple ears, look. It's with a shampoo. 1947 was that? Well, I would only be 2 then, so I don't remember that. Yeah, I've got purple ears, can you see? It's the shampoo you use, for blonde hair. I'll finish up with purple ears. Look like I've got some kind of deadly disease, don't I, with purple ears? Well, I think the last big freeze, was in the 60s. I'm sure. Sure we had one about 1963 or something. I don't remember it. And I would have been going to work in it, or going to school in it, wouldn't I? Whatever. Whatever. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. I'm doing this pink and then there's bits of brown. 62, 63 was it? Yeah, I know. I would have been at school. I don't remember ploughing my way through snow to get to school. And they certainly didn't close the schools down. You certainly had to go. When you think about it, we weren't allowed to wear trousers and we weren't allowed to wear tights or anything. We had to wear socks and skirts. God, we must have been chapped knees, must have had frostbite. Because it was a school uniform and woe betide you if you weren't in your uniform. No, we weren't allowed to wear trousers. And I used to have to walk because I didn't live far enough away to get the school bus. But sometimes if we were ploughing our way down the main road in the rain or whatever, the bus driver used to stop and let us get on. We weren't supposed to. You're supposed to have lived more than so many miles before you can get on the school bus. But if he saw us walking in the rain, he'd stop and let us get on it, yeah. Yeah, I really don't remember it, Sean. I just don't, and I should have done. 45, 55, 60. I would have been about 15, wouldn't I? So I must have been at school. Mm. God, it used to be cold. Cold knees. Because skirts, the fashion was like skirts to your knee. We couldn't have them any higher. But, so, there'd be a gap like between your knee and your sock, even if you wore long socks. Yeah. I used to get terrible, like, chapped legs. And if you had wellies on, Wellingtons, the snow would go down your welly and it would make you sore all around your calves. That's the only thing you were allowed to wear was Wellingtons, But you had to take your shoes with you, yeah. Pants with a dress on top. No, we were never allowed to wear pants at all. We could only wear gym slips, would you believe, until I was, I think, about 16, 17, when we were allowed to wear skirts. Kids today moan about the uniform, but they didn't have to wear a gym slip. We were like, those films like Centurions, weren't we, with our school hats on and gym slips and things. Not allowed to wear tights or leggings or anything like that. And we didn't have any ethnic in my school at all. So we didn't have anybody wearing like you know, the Indian pants or something that they wear. I don't remember anybody of. No, we didn't. There was nobody even mixed race. There was nobody in my school other than white people. And it wasn't that we were snobby or anything, it's just that there weren't any around when I was young. There weren't many people of colour. The first ones that came to where I lived came to work in the mills, and it was just the men that came. They didn't bring their wives and they didn't bring the children. So they came to work in the mills. And so there was no kids like that, yeah. Yeah, they're still talking about that little chihuahua that died. I'm on the WhatsApp group for the street I used to live on here. No, we wore them in secondary school, Sean. I had to wear them right up to being 17, 18. I was 17, almost 18 when I left school. And we still had to wear white socks. We weren't allowed to wear tights or anything, yeah. Oh, I hate that with the belly sticking out and all. And I don't like to see obese women. I'm sorry, I know you can wear whatever you want. Obese women wearing leggings or tights, skirts halfway up the backside, or, you know, and then mini tops that show the big belly hanging out. Yeah, oh. And I'm like, do you not have a mirror? I'm not being sizist, but just dress appropriately. I know you can wear whatever you want and people get into arguments with you about that, but it's not nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe that you have to wear a tent when you're pregnant, but I don't like it when they have stretch things on that, you know. I mean, there was two lasses in Fleetwood. The only young, bonny little lasses wearing leggings. And I'm not joking, I could see everything, the shape of everything through their leggings. And I'm talking about the front, yeah? And I'm like, that is not tasteful. I'm sorry, but that is not nice. You know, to see a camel toe walking towards you on young lasses wearing leggings. I'm like, for goodness sake, put a pair of drawers on underneath, you know? They couldn't have had anything on because there was no visible panty line or anything. They must have just had these leggings on. And I thought, oh, it's just, if I was the mother, I'd never let them out like that. Yeah, they're bonny lasses as well, only about 16. Everything on view, you know, I mean, not actually everything on view, but, you know, you might as well. You could see it through their leggings, yeah, the shape of it. And I'm like, oh, please, have a bit of decency, cover yourself up, girl. And then they wonder why men leer at them and that. And then, hi, Enid. You know, I've got a friend like that, and she's like, men should learn to control themselves. We should be allowed to wear what we want. And I'm like, come on. You get a teenage boy who's trying to control his hormones, you know what I mean? And they're parading around with it all on view. Yeah. Oh, please, just be a little bit respectful. As my grandma used to say, you can hint, but don't put your wares on display. Let people hint. Yeah, they do. That's what I mean. They moan when men leer at them and say rude things to them when they're walking down the street, and they've got their boobs hanging out and everything. Oh dear. But you see them on a freezing cold day, don't you, with the belly hanging out when they're pregnant? And I'm like, that baby must feel the cold, yeah. I mean, I don't believe in cooking your baby with a big jumper on, but I mean, surely that baby feels the cold. Hello, bears, crochets, critters. Hello. Does anybody know this Alicia that wants to join our club? I don't know her. She lives in Ohio. I don't want to join it if we don't know who she is, yeah. On the banks of the Ohio. Hey, we've not got Chris tonight. Where is Chris? Yeah, we were all right showing a little titivating bit of cleavage, didn't you? But you didn't have your puddings boiling over, did you? Oh, did you see that woman in a dress? She'd gone to this, was it the Grammys or something? And she had this dress was suspending off nipple rings. And I'm like, oh, come on. That is not a dress. It looked like a hanky fastened on. It just not nice at all. And then there was somebody with a latex dress on. She was hobbling. She couldn't walk. And it was a latex dress that looked like she was nude, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Munchkin, yeah. Yeah, we've not got Chris, have we? Chris, where are you, Chris? He's missing with Trev because Trev never came, did he? Or he said he would. Well, he didn't say he would. He said he'd try. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't like seeing all of this. I don't know why they have to have stretched things so tight. I mean, I'm not saying everybody should wear a tent and cover up. I'm not saying that at all. But there are some nice clothes that you could wear, but not a stretched top and stretched leggings with your belly hanging out. Yeah, we know you're pregnant, love. You don't have to brag about it. And like you said, the ones with the bellies hanging out altogether. You've got a bra top on near enough and a pair of low-rise jeans and this big belly hanging out in between. If that was a man with a beer belly, we'd all be going, eh. But we're supposed to rejoice just because she's pregnant with a belly hanging out, yeah. I just worry about the babies getting cold when it's a cold, windy day and they've got the belly hanging out. I'm thinking that belly must be icy cold, that poor little baby. It's only in a little sack, isn't it? It's going to feel the cold, surely. You've only got to walk down the main street here, Linda. Not so much here, but in Fleetwood. Oh, dear. Sights you see when you don't have your gun. Oh, dear. Tell you, Munjara would have a field day around here. Men are the worst. They wear shorts, don't they, or trousers underneath their belly. And they say things like, oh, I'm a 34 waist. And I'm like, no, you're not. 34 under the belly. I bet if you measured round your belly, you'd be 40 waist. And the t-shirt parts couldn't be, they're like Pooh Bear, aren't they? And you're like, oh, cover it up, love. You don't look nice at all. Especially if you've got hairy tummy. Ugh. And a hairy bum. Oh, no. Puts you right off. Oh, no. Better booze bumps, yeah. They always seem to have skinny legs. Have you noticed, Shad? You've got this big belly, and then they've got little skinny, little weedy legs hanging out the end. And they're always white because they've never seen the sun, aren't they? And then they wear socks with the sandals. And then they say to you, why are you still single, John? Yeah, I've just seen what's on offer. I'll stay single, thank you. You see a nice fit guy and he's taking care of himself and he looks absolutely fantastic and he's gay. You never notice. They've got super fit bodies and they always look nice and yep. And you think, what a bloody shame. All the nice guys are taken, yeah, by other men. Yeah, probably not, sure. They're probably gone, long gone. Long gone. I know I've been a big girl, but I do try. A lot of these don't even try, do they? We'd all like to be £100, wouldn't we? £120. We'd all like to be that. Oh, no. Man, I couldn't believe it when that girl we were talking about before, Sean, went to the driving chemist. And I'm like, you are? You have a driving chemist, driving pharmacy? And she went, yeah. Everything in Ohio where she went was a drive-through. It weren't like just McDonald's. She got to a drive-through pharmacy. I said they'd be having drive-through funerals in a bit, won't they? The ones who wear the pajamas to take the kids to school. Excuse me, but get dressed, please. I used to live near, don't know if you ever remember if you're in England, Giant Haystacks. Used to do wrestling. He was big. I don't mean fat, he was just big. He was huge. And he had a 4x4, but every time he got in it, he went down. Such a nice guy he was as well. But oh, he was massive. He wasn't like big belly massive. He was just massive. He was huge. He was like a, you see things on Harry Potter, these huge people, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I used to wear crochet dresses back in the 60s, but I always made a lining to go underneath them. That I didn't wear a crochet dress with my underwear showing, you know. I used to sew them. I used to go to the market and get lining material as close to the colour of this dress I'd crocheted as possible. And I used to sew like a little dress kind of thing for underneath made out of lining material so that I wouldn't be showing me my underwear. I mean, now they'd think I were a prude or something. You got a drive-through in Birmingham. Oh. We're just talking about this today. I'm trying my hardest not to eat out at all. Trying to be. Well, I was talking to my niece about this, but you don't know what you're buying. You think you're buying healthy, don't you? You think you're buying things to cook for yourself, but you don't know what's in them. I don't know what the chickens have been eating or what they've been doing, or you just try your best to eat basic, not to buy processed food, but nearly everything's gone through some form of a process, hasn't it? Unless you're rich enough to be able to afford organic everything or go to a farm shop and buy your meat and stuff from the farm shop where it's come from the actual cows that are there. And even then, you don't know what they're being fed on. It's just, oh. I mean, it's no wonder our grandparents were healthier than we were because they weren't eating all this junk. They plump everything up, don't they? And inject water and God knows what into everything. And oh, you like to surprise people, yeah. I mean, I used to wear things. I won't say they were tight, but I used to wear things like a straight skirt when I had a figure, and a sweater, that used to show me boobs off a bit. But I mean through the sweater, you'd see my boobs. But I thought I was quite tasteful because I was always covered over. I mean, even the crochet dresses, you couldn't see through them. You could, but you could see the lining underneath them. I would never have just worn. And even now, I don't like wearing an open work crochet top with just my bra. I always put like a little camisole underneath them. I don't like flashing the underwear off. Yeah. Oh, I hope them COVID masks don't come back again. There was people in Morrison's today wearing them. Not everybody, of course, just the odd people. But they might have had a cold, or their immune system might be suppressed or something. But I'd hate to have to go back where we all had to wear a mask. Oh no. They weren't the prettiest thing, were they? It's bad enough when you're like talking to a doctor or a surgeon and all you can see is their eyes. You can't tell if they're smiley or a happy person, can you? You go to somebody medical, you go to the operating theatre and it's just like a sea of eyes, isn't it? Yeah, there's two sets of mums picking up the kids from school. There's some like they're going clubbing, yeah, with the big false eyelashes and the big lips. And then there's the other ones who just like they've come out of bed, don't they? They're practically in the dressing gowns, aren't they, taking the kids to school? And I'm like, oh, for goodness sake, please put some clothes on. It don't take 2 minutes, does it? To put a pair of pants and a t-shirt on. You don't have to go in your nightie. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25. 3 more rows. No, I don't. Well, I just dress basic, I think. Yeah. I mean, how long does it take you to slip a pair of pants on and a top and a jumper? Doesn't take 2 minutes, does it? Yeah, you can dress what's comfortable, but you don't have to go out in your pajamas, do you? You can be comfy in something else. What is making that noise? Something creaking. I won't even put the dustbin out in my pajamas. I mean, my yard is enclosed. It's got a locked gate. It's got high fencing all the way around it, and I still don't like even going to my dustbin in my nightie. And there's nobody to see me unless they were peeping over the fence. Yeah, but that's in your own home, isn't it? You know what I mean? I mean, I don't usually stay in me nightie unless I'm poorly. I mean, I do have. We all do, don't we? We all have 90 days, and my next door neighbour wears a blooming nightie and a dressing gown all day. I admit she doesn't go out in it, but she wears it all day. Even my niece said to me, "Does she ever get dressed next door?" I went, "I don't think so." No, I have to be ill if to wear my dressing gown all day. Mind, I'm going to stay in bed tomorrow. I'm just really tired. I've had some broken nights. So nobody's coming tomorrow. Nothing's happening tomorrow. So I am staying in my bed. Manny, on Monday, I was supposed to be going to knit club on Monday. No, is it Monday? No, Thursday. I was supposed to be meeting my friend on Thursday. I woke up at 12:30 in the afternoon. Oh, yeah. Especially when they stretch up to put washing on the line and they've not got anything underneath. Oops. No, I mean, she's got a longish dressing gown on, well, to the knee. But she puts a dustbin out, on the main road, puts a dustbin out in a dressing gown. And I'm like, oh, please. I won't, I'd rather leave me miss the bin men than go out in my nightie. I'm funny that way. We've all got our little idiosyncrasies. That's a big word for Saturday, isn't it? We've all got our idiosyncrasies. I mean, I draw my curtains back in the lounge, but when I get up, I have to comb my hair and put my dressing gown on before I even go and draw the curtains in the front room because I always think somebody might be walking past. It's bad enough they're seeing me in my dressing gown, but they're certainly not seeing me without my hair combed. Because I have bed hair when I get up. It's like sticking up like a bird's nest. Yeah, it's not like the movies. You know why they're laying in bed with a full face of makeup, aren't they? And the hair's always beautiful when they wake up in the morning in a movie. No woman's like that. You always wake up looking like you've either got a big crease in your face from your pillow, haven't you, or your hair's in a knot. I certainly don't look good. Have you ever read these things about what a wife should do, like in the 50s? Make sure you get up half an hour before your husband, and then you can comb your hair and put your makeup on before he sees you. And I'm like, what? Sorry. If he's married me, he gets me warts and all. I'm not sliding out of bed half an hour before he gets up to put my makeup on. Yeah, it's saying, greet him with his slippers, isn't it? And all this. Make sure you let him talk about let him relax when he comes in from his good day. And I'm like, ooh, it's like Stepford Wives, isn't it? I thought half the time, women have gone out to work as well, haven't they? No, I don't put my pyjamas on until I'm going to bed, no. No, some people, when they're coming from work, can't wait, can they, to take their bra off and put the PJs on and that. And I'm like, no, what if somebody comes to the door? I admit when I used to work at the office, I used to change into something more comfy because I'd be wearing like a jacket and a skirt and, office wear, blouse and stuff. And I didn't want to sit around at night, doing my knitting or something and doing my cooking, wearing what I call my office wear. I used to go upstairs when I got in from work and put something on a bit more casual, let's just say. But I didn't go and put my nightie on. But I didn't want to be cooking dinner in my straight skirt and jacket, that you had to wear for work. Well, nobody really visits me, but I mean, they used to when I was working, and I used to get visitors sometimes at night, or people would call for our Ian, yeah. So, yeah, I used to dress more comfy, I must admit. And I used to have a tracksuit, which we all did back in the day, didn't we? Come on, let's admit it, we all had shell suits, didn't we? I mean, now you're looking back, you think, ooh, Jimmy Savile, shiny, shiny tracksuits. Oh, God. I mean, I was guilty of wearing them back in the 80s, wasn't it, really? I think, yeah. I mean, if I was cooking and that, I didn't want to get grease or anything on me workwear, yeah. Yeah, we all used to wear those shiny ones, didn't we? Shell suits, they were like flammable nylon, and if we went past a flame, we would have all combusted, wouldn't we? Aha, Humpty Dumpty had the first shell suit, yeah. But we all wore them, didn't we? They had stripes down the legs at the side, didn't they? They were shiny. Some of them were like purple and turquoise. And, oh, can't remember what colour mine was. But to be fair, I did used to go to, well, it would like keep fit. It was like music and movement. So, I mean, and I used to go to swimming. So there was an excuse for wearing my tracksuit. Because tracksuits were easy to put on when you were damp, when you'd been swimming. And I used to drive there in the car, so, nobody really saw me. It wasn't like I was going to catch the bus in one. Yeah, we all had it with a zip front. Even my ex used to have one when we all went swimming, yeah. Yours was shocking pink. Oh my God, Linda. I can't remember what mine was. It was something, it wasn't bright. I know it wasn't bright. Probably navy blue or something. I can't remember. It wasn't black. I remember it wasn't black. Ian's was black. with white stripes down the legs. Yeah. I can't remember what colour mine was. No, I haven't got any photographic evidence of me wearing them either. Sadly, yeah, swoosh, 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 yeah. Especially if you're a big girl and you had your thighs and you used to get bubbles, didn't you, down the inside of your legs if you were a big lass. I mean, I wasn't a fat lass, but I've never had a thigh gap, if you know what I mean. So I've always got bubbles. Well, I used to always have bubbles, in between my thighs, like. Well, we thought we were fashionable then, didn't we? Everybody wore them, didn't they? Yes, the swish of the nylon as you walk. Swish, 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 swish. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 27. One more row. One more row. Oh, leather. We sat on a leather suite. You'd slide off it, wouldn't you? You couldn't sit still. It was like a slow slide. You could feel yourself, couldn't you, going down the chair? I think mine was probably always a tracksuit, I think, when I used to come home from work. Because we used to wear very formal things, for working in the office. Like like a suit, as you call them. It was either a skirt suit or a pantsuit with a blouse. God, I couldn't wait to get rid of my blouses. Button-up blouse. The most unfashionable thing ever. A button-up blouse underneath a skirt suit. Oh, couldn't wait to get rid of them. I never wore them again, any of them. People used to say to me, "Oh, you could still wear the skirt with something." I'm like, no. They are going. I gave them to the homeless shelter, for the women, battered women or something. All my workwear went there. I said, I will never wear it again. And they're like, "Oh, you might wear it." No, I will not wear them again. And my sensible shoes, no way. Now, of course, I'm back in the sensible shoes. But back then, I thought I was too young to be wearing sensible shoes. I wanted to be fashionable. And you weren't allowed to wear boots and stuff like that, You had to wear court shoes type of thing, No trainers, no anything. Oh, irons. Oh, God, blouses, yeah. It was like when my son was at school, I used to have to iron his shirts. And he was a mucky little puppy, had a clean one on every day. I swear to God, he used to slide everywhere. He used to come home looking like nobody owned him. I just think, where have you been? His trousers would be caked up in mud. His jumper would be mucky. And even his shirt. I mean, he had a black jumper over the top of it, or a blazer. And his shirt looked like he'd been dragged through an edge backwards. My friend said to me, "Why are you always washing every day?" I said, "You see the state he comes home to school in? Couldn't send him in that the day after." Well, should I get 2 days out of a shirt with mine? I thought, I'd be getting letters from the teacher if I sent him in the shirt 2 days running. And I remember when I was at grammar school, there was a girl there called Sylvia, was she called? And she had this massive hole in her jumper. And it was laddering up and down from her elbow And one of the teachers said, Sylvia, does your mum knock down or whatever? And she just went, mm. So she said, look, just bring your jumper in tomorrow, she says, and I'll catch it, so that it won't bladder anymore. And I always remember her mother come to school. She was massive, real slob of a woman, yeah. And she come in and she played, oh, how dare you suggest I can't down or something. How dare you talk, picking on my child, la da da. I mean, she looked as though she wanted to crawl in a hole, this girl. It wasn't just a little hole, it was like half of her elbow were missing, the laddering up, laddering down. And it had been like that for weeks. And this teacher was feeling sorry for her, she just said, I'll catch it together for you if you bring it in tomorrow. Oh, geez, she went bonkers, this woman. How dare you? Yeah, she was called Evelyn Sylvia Margaret. And her last name. I won't say her last name just in case anybody knows her. But if her mother had caught it when she first made a little hole in the elbow, it would have been fine. It was like her elbow was. And it made it worse because the white shirt was hanging out through the hole, Oof. Man, yeah, I remember my friend's little girl, they were very posh. And she went to one of these preschool private schools, but it was like preschool. But there were only about 3. And they used to wear uniform because it was like a posh school. And she went, and the uniform was mega expensive. And she went, and she came back, and she went to get the little girl from school, and the teacher's there with her jumper in her bag. And she says, I'm terribly sorry. She said, I only took my eye off her for a minute. And she got a pair of scissors. Now, they were plastic scissors, so you didn't think they'd be able to cut. But she'd got her jumper in a big bunch like that, and she'd cut it off. It weren't able to mend it. It was a big hole. And the teacher said, I'm sorry, I only took my eye off her for a minute. She said, I didn't think plastic scissors could cut like that. And my friend said to her daughter, what did you do that for? She said, I just wanted to see if it would cut. And this jumper had cost an absolute fortune. And she'd cut this big hole in it. Finally, when I was at school, a little boy, he cut the plait off the girl in front. One of her plaits, cut it off right at the edge. Again, with plastic scissors that are not supposed to cut. Only one plait he cut off. Mother went bonkers. The teacher said, well, I can't watch him all the time. She was swishing her plaits apparently and getting on his nerves, so just cut one of her plaits off. Braids, if you don't know what I mean by a plait. So this poor girl had to have her hair cut like a boy because couldn't salvage it. I once cut my fringe off when I was little. I just decided I didn't want a fringe. Got my fringe and cut it off. I mean, why did I not think it would grow? I just cut it right off there. My mother went bonkers. What did you do that for? I said, well, I didn't want my fringe. She said, well, you should have told me. And I would have combed it back and put a grip in it. It took ages to grow. It was like stubble all across. Things you do when you're a kid. I mean, shaved his head once. Shaved it. One of them, them comb things that you're supposed to be able to cut your hair with instead of going to the barbers. And one side was like a real blade. And he had in his hair. He cut his own hair, and he couldn't do anything with it. Things kids do. I don't think my nieces ever did anything like that. I don't remember them anyway. And another of my friends, a little boy, squirted fairy liquid, washing up liquid, all over the kitchen ceiling. It was dripping off the ceiling, all down the work units. And of course, when she tried to clean it up, the more she was putting water on to clean it up, the more it were frothing up. It were all over her floor. It were everywhere. And it was a great big bottle, the economy bottle. He's emptied it everywhere. So what did you do that for? He said I was playing Superman or something. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Yeah, well, I don't know what this kid had. He cut a braid off, cut her plait off, yeah. And my friend's little girl cut her jumper. Big hole in her jumper. It wouldn't have been so bad if she went in this private preschool that would cost a fortune, The uniform cost a bomb. She was only about 3. It was just snobbery, really, sending her to this private school. We call it a preparatory. I can't even say the word. Preparatory, whatever it is. It was kind of like a posh nursery, really, wasn't it? Worneth Prep, yeah. Don't know how much a term it used to cost, but it was dear. And they all wore little uniforms. 3-year-olds wearing little uniforms. Yeah, little hats and everything they had. Oof. All these, whatever you call them. What do we used to call them? Not chavs, what do we call them? There were a name for them back in my generation. It wasn't a chav. They were like, I can't remember what we used to call them now. The posh, snobby women, ladies who lunch, one of those, yeah. Well, there was a name for them. As I say, it wasn't chav, that came much later. And I lived in Prestwich, there used to be a lot of ladies who lunched. They'd be there with their hair just so, clothes that cost more than my week's wage. I have never been a lady who lunched. Brunch sometimes, maybe, but not ladies who lunch, no. Never been part of the elite set. I lived up and amongst them, I remember going somewhere and this woman said to me, I can't quite place the designer of the dress you're wearing. It's very nice. And I'm thinking, designer? It's not a designer. Yeah, she said, I can't quite. It's very nice, your dress, but I can't quite place the designer. I thought, meow. So my husband said, you're being overly sensitive. I said, she's a bitch. She said, I get my clothes from such a body, name some designer or other. So I get mine from Right Market, but up yours, yeah. Can't be doing with pretentious people. My son did that with wallpaper. We'd saved up for this wallpaper. And my ex-husband had done the staircase, and you know how tall it is to do a staircase. He'd struggled because he wasn't the best of wallpapers, and he'd really struggled. And my son took a red wax crayon and went all the way down the stairs. My husband came home from work and he says, "Why is he crying in his bedroom?" I said, "He's crying in his bedroom for his own safety." I said, "Because I don't let him out, I'll kill him." And he says, "Why?" I said, "Look at the hall." We couldn't get it off. Couldn't get wax crayon off wallpaper. You can't. But we weren't had no money, and we'd saved up for this wallpaper, and it were lovely. And it weren't up a day. I don't think it was up a day or 2 days before we went with the red wax crayon all the way down the stairs. Big circles. I think I ruined his artistic career because every time he picked up a crayon, he used to say, "Naughty, naughty," and put it back on the, because I told him he was naughty for doing it. So I spoiled him being an artist. Yeah, I had to put him in his bedroom, and otherwise I'd have killed him. I said, "Don't you dare come out of that bedroom." And he was crying and sobbing and, "I want to come out, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And Alan came out in the middle of it, and I was there crying. "What's he done? What's he done?" I went, "Just go and look at the hall and find out what he's done." Hey, kids, the things they do. You remember Shag Pal carpet? You know, about that Shag Pal? I had a carpet like that. And he got a box of Ready Breck and sprinkled it all over the carpet. I was hoovering it up for weeks. It looked like my carpet had got dandruff. All this white, you know what Ready Breck's like? It's like fluffy porridge, isn't it? Every time I hoovered, I got more up, more up. It just worked its way in the carpet. I couldn't get rid of it. So what did you do that for? I don't know, Mummy, don't know. Yeah, we had to wait while we saved up again and strip it off and put new wallpaper on. And we'd paid more for this wallpaper, than what we usually did. Because my husband had said, like, I'm not papering that all, because it was tall, you go up the tall. You couldn't get the ladders up and that, to get to the top. And the wallpaper was great big long lengths. And he struggled because he wasn't a wallpaperer. And then he went and did that. Oh, jeez. I just didn't know what to do. I didn't want to kill him, cry, or what. It should have been something cheap. You could have painted over it, but we'd got this nice posh wallpaper, yeah. Done. Sleeve done. It's finished now, apart from the... Oh, I've got enough left over to do proper edges with this one. I had to do a different colour around the other two I'd just done, because I ran out of wool. But this one's like, I've got enough left over to do the band. Yay! You don't have to use a contrast colour. Well, we've not had any Chris today. I hope he's all right. Hope he's not poorly. Yeah, a friend of mine, her little child got, I thought it was a biro or a felt tip on a new cream leather suite. It wouldn't come off. They hadn't had it 2 minutes. I thought, well, it serves you right. She said, well, I didn't want a black suite. In those days, there was only black or cream. You couldn't have, there were no colours. So she got a cream one. And he drew all over it. I don't know whether it's felt tip or whether it was a biro, but it wouldn't come off. And again, it was the same situation. No money saved up to get this suite. Really loved it. If it's rich people, they don't bother so much. But, we were all in the same boat when our kids were little. None of us had any money. You had to save up for everything. It's funny, you start off your married life like that and then you finish up your pension like that, don't you? Saving up for everything. I mean, at one time, when they said to me, you need a new consumer, I'd have just said, right, okay. But now I'm like, oh, I've got to save up. I said, you'll have to give me a couple of months, and I try and get the money together. Yeah, you start off without and you finish up without. Unless you're one of these rich people who've got a fantastic pension, like the politicians. They get more in the pension than we ever got when we were working, didn't they? Yeah, look how big a ball I've got left. I mean, that grey one, I hadn't got enough to do the band bit. Even though they're supposed to be 200 grams, they're obviously, this one's a bit finer. The grey was thicker, so it didn't have the yardage. So I just managed to do the back, the front and two sleeves, but I've not got enough to do the bands. But this, I've got enough to do the bands. Yay! Yay me! I didn't want my tea and now I'm hungry. Wrong time of the night to be hungry, isn't it? When you go into bed. You should, with hiatus hernia, you shouldn't eat when you're going to go and lie down. But I'm feeling hungry. I'd made myself fish with like vegetable rice, and I didn't really fancy it, so I ate part of it and threw the rest away. Because you can't eat cold fish, can you? Well, you could, I suppose, but wouldn't be very tasty. It was just white fish. I hadn't battered it or done anything. It was just white fish. And I just got bored eating it. You've eaten a tin of salmon. I'm just feeling hungry. I feel peckish. Oh, I know what I've got. Hot cross buns. I could have a hot cross bun, couldn't I? Look at that, what I've got left, Val. This must be the thinner stuff. I've only got the bands to do. And look, I've got all of that left. And yet that grey one I ran out of, and that other one, that blue and green one I ran out of. And yet look at that. Definitely do the bands. I'll finish that off tomorrow. I've got crisps. I'm trying to be healthy, Val. I'm really trying to be healthy. But it's hard, isn't it? I mean, for my lunch, I had an apple and a tangerine. I had, well, a clementine, I think it was. I had for me lunch, yeah. Yeah, it's talking about food and that, isn't it? We're talking about salmon sandwiches, weren't we? That made Val want to eat a sandwich. Yeah, I am trying. I'm trying to eat healthy. It doesn't always work because, like you said, what you think is eating healthy, you find out it's not because they shove some horrible additives in your food. But I don't know. Oh, it's the witching hour. I was thinking I'm getting hungry and I'm getting tired. There's me drinking my Coca-Cola. That'll keep me up. I drink Coca-Cola on a Saturday night and then I can't sleep. And I do it all the time, don't I? I thought I won't have coffee. I'll have a Coke. Diet free. Well, it's actually a Pepsi. Pepsi. This always reminds me of those, those American caravans, what do you call them? Trailers that are very expensive and they're all in silver, aren't they? What are they called? Oh, I can't crochet throws and blankets to get me wig. What were they called? That silver caravans, silver trailers. They're like vintage, aren't they? Airstream, are they? Yeah. That's what these remind me of. Yeah, they're like that shape, aren't they? Yeah. They used to always be in American movies, didn't they? Yeah. We didn't have them over here unless they were imported. Well, I'm going to go now, and if anybody sees Chris on any other lives or whatever, tell him I said hello. And where was he? I hope he's not poorly. And we haven't had Shad on either. Must be something going on in America. They're all busy. What's that? Oh, it's a piece of fluff sticking out here. Right, good night, everybody. Yeah, they're nice, those caravans, aren't they? Yeah, you'll see us next week when Linda and Linda will be on, won't you? Yeah. I was just thinking he won't be on because you won't be at home, but you will be. Oh, you might. No, she might not be because she's going to the bingo. So she might not be on. She might be bingoing her. Eyes down looking. She might be doing that next week, so she may not be on. So we can talk about her if she's not on, yeah. Right, I shall go now. And if I don't see you before, I shall see you, Val, on Saturday. And I'll see you on Saturday, Linda, but I will talk to you in between, I'm sure. Sure I will. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for your company. And we will speak again very soon. You never know, I might do a video in the middle of the week. I intend to do, and then it goes out my head. Because Monday I should be going to the library if it's not raining. Bet your money it pours down. I've not been to the library for a month now. I mean, the other day when it wasn't raining, my boiler broke, didn't it? And then this Monday just gone, I had to go to the diabetic appointment. And it was too late for me to go to a knit club. So I haven't been for 4 weeks. I think I've left. Yeah. Anyway, bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for your company. Don't forget, thumbs up, people. Yeah. Like and subscribe. Tell all your friends. Come and join the nutty person. Bye now.